The roadmap to health. This comes from years of hard knocks, experiences. We're going to go through on this video is the roadmap to health, which you can see in front of you is 5 phases. This is really the comprehensive approach. Now, when you're doing the foundational protocol, the foundational approach, we're really taking the first 4 of these phases, which we call steps. But let's go through each phase, and I'll minimize myself just so you can see more of the screen here. Phase 1 focuses on mitochondrial energy and drainage. And you can see at the bottom there, jumpstart your protocol at the mitochondrial level. So our body has about 37 trillion cells. We have about the same amount of bacteria, roughly, for an average adult, according to the most recent research. Virtually every cell of the body has mitochondria in them, except for the red blood cells. And there can be anywhere between 100 mitochondria to 500 to 1,000. Well, these mitochondria are absolutely critical for not only energy factories of our body, but also immune system. Mitochondria function is the core of the cell. So when we say, we need cellular health and we need to get the cell well, it's really about the core of the cell, which is the mitochondria. And once the mitochondria function is restored back to optimal, then the body changes. And this happens when the root causes are removed, which the roadmap to health really addresses the sources. So phase 1 is to give the mitochondria, the energy of the body, a jump start, right? But the second part of phase 1 is drainage. So alongside energy is drainage, and drainage refers to the pathways that move fluids and debris through the body. If these pathways are plugged and you jump into detoxing or eliminating pathogens, you're more likely to get symptoms because there's nowhere for those toxins or for the pathogens or the debris of the pathogens to go anywhere. Imagine you have a sink and it's plugged up. You don't start putting more water in the sink when it's plugged up. You got to unplug the sink first. And that's literally what we're doing in phase 1 is opening the drainage pathways. And drainage pathways can include your colon, just going number 2 or pooping, the liver bile duct system, your skin and sweating, the kidneys, right? All these things are drainage pathways, which you need to make sure that they're open and flowing so that you minimize any symptomatology and maximize your results as you go through the journey. So that's really that first phase right there. The second phase is gut and immune system. So this is a heavy focus on your gut. And you can see up there, all disease begins in the gut. That's what Hippocrates was supposedly quoted on saying, and the gut is such a critical area to address right away. Now, the important thing to address right away in this protocol is specifically the critters in the gut. And generally, we start with parasites because they're the biggest of the critters and often house toxins and other pathogens, other critters inside of them. Removing the toxins stored within parasites is only possible when you remove the source, right? The parasites themselves. Also, removing other pathogens in the body, such as bacteria and fungi, it's much easier once the parasites are cleared out. So parasites are a huge focus, especially in the digestive tract, in the GI tract. That's what phase 2 is all about. Phase 3 is going deeper, whole body immune support. And you can see transition from gut to whole body. Now, a big focus is parasites again on phase 3, but it's important to comprehend that parasites do not just reside in the digestive tract. There's other areas of the body that they are in, and they disrupt cell function, mitochondrial function. Gut first, then we go whole body. The next step is phase 4, which is the systemic detox. And you can also replace this with steps, right? This is the comprehensive look. But phase 4 is systemic detox. This is really focusing on detoxifying the chemicals and toxins that we have accumulated. So throughout this journey, it's important to minimize your toxin exposure as much as possible. But let's be real. You're going to have exposure. but the obvious ones that you can minimize, which we're going to go through and teach you about on this program, will help your body detox faster. Because imagine you have 10 sources a day right now where you're getting toxin exposure. Your body's having to expend so much energy just to deal with those toxins every single day, the onslaught of the new ones. Imagine you're able to cut it down to just 2 out of the 10 left you're still exposed to. Well, now that opens so much more energy up for your body to start dumping what's been accumulated in the body. And as we detoxify, this is really what allows the body to maximize health, energy, and expression. You might be saying, well, Dr. J, why don't I just jump right into detox? Well, that's what I did early on. And unfortunately, it ended up with horrible reactions. I got really sick, allergic to all kinds of things because I didn't understand anything about opening drainage up, helping to support the mitochondria, focusing on the gut health and parasites before I detox. And this is where the roadmap to health comes in. As the roadmap to health in this order will help to minimize symptomatology so you can still live your life, but still get better and optimize your health. And the last phase, which is really a deeper immune support. So for those that have struggled with Lyme and co-infections, this phase is when we really get into that. And this is the immune system cleanup. So when you look at the comprehensive approach, that's these 5 steps, which really is the roadmap to health. When we look at a foundational approach, it's the first 4 phases, or what we'd call the first 4 steps of this roadmap to health. And that's really the big difference there. But just understand, order matters. And it can save you years, money, and lots of time by following the proper order.